to be the paramount of marine engineering training in India. In fact, it has been the most sought-after institute for the aspiring cadets coming fresh after schooling. A lush green campus spread across 33 acres in the heart of harbour lanes of Taratala, overlooking the docks, DMET is a high-standing flag for the history, present and the future of marine engineering training in India. The institute has been a hallmark of excellent cadets. What brings this excellence is a highly motivated workforce of faculties and instructors. Let's hear it from the man who runs it all.
Under the leadership of Bhimrao Ambedkar ji in 1947, and the Constituent Assembly President happened to be Harendra Kumar Mukherjee, and they have seen a need for training citizens in merchant marine. There was an inclusion in the 7th schedule of our constitution, and he established this particular institution. It was formally inaugurated in 1953 by Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and it has seen and attracted one of the best brains in India. They went on to become very great entrepreneurship managers, administrators, successful businessmen and whatnot. But always the technology that runs all this equipment or powers the research in this domain happened from mostly the Scandinavian countries. Now looking forward to match to their standards and exceed them. This is high time that I have is to blend practical experience and theoretical knowledge, which happens hands-on training at this institution.
The secret to success at DMET is installation of discipline and determination right from the onset of their admission. The learnings made here remain with the cadet, guiding through entire life. Teaching that discipline requires a man with nerves of steel, and this man ensures that no one escapes the grill.
Basically, to ingrain discipline in the newly joined cadets, and to ensure that they understand the legacy of DMET and IMU, what is expected out of them. As a faculty, I would like the students to understand the subject matter in the best possible manner, while maintaining complete discipline in the institute, and there should not be anything which should be bothering them once they leave the class. They understand the legacy of this particular institute. They understand that they have to perform well once they leave this particular institute, and that is what makes them more sincere, more adaptive, and more ready to fight when they go into their new work.
The most important bond that cadets make here is with the seniors and batchmates. Teaching the proper conduct and the required discipline, Fallons are a regular boost of senior cadet interactions. Let's see a regular Fallen and the legacy of the institute, the quadrangle.
With the sound of hooter, the cadets muster in the junior hostel quadrangle, which shows the agile response to the hooter sound in the merchant marine. In the night Fallen, we do head counts, and cadets also address their issues to the rank holders. The Fallen is an integral part of DMET training. Every brick layered in the quadrangle has witnessed the training and the legacy DMET provides. Fallen also include the discipline and the proper conduct. Cadets are also trained about the basic responses given to the commands by quartermaster and the rank holders.
DMET has always been the pioneer of cutting-edge academic learning experience through advanced and modernized equipment. The modern-day DMET is home to facilities like advanced simulator labs.
For being the best marine engineer, we need great practical knowledge, which is not always possible in class. For that, we include simulator lab, which gives us the brief knowledge on the practical working of the machines and in the virtual mode, which completely takes us to the virtual world of the machine spaces on board, where we can also operate and control each and every part of the machinery and experiences the machinery spaces in the virtual mode.
State-of-the-art library facility.
The library of DMET has been an integral part of imparting maritime-based knowledge in the modern-day cadets. The library is spacious, filled with more than thousands of books and journals. It is fully air-conditioned with a seating capacity of 100+ cadets at a time. Books on every marine-based subject is available, along with journals and magazines from every renowned marine author, covering everything you need to know from shore to sea. This is the best place where you can sit and learn to be a successful marine engineer in the coming days.
And one of the largest marine workshops in Asia.
DMET is a house to one of the biggest marine workshops in the entire industry. Equipped with various machineries, it is also a home to the Kawasaki MAN diesel engine 6000 bhp horsepower. The recently gifted gas turbine by the Indian Navy adds to its glory. The hours spent here by the cadets train them for their onboard training. The faculties and the instructors ensure that a proper safety culture is maintained while the cadets finish their job.
Safety culture is an integral part of training imparted at DMET. With modern fire prevention equipment to high-class instructors, the cadets are taught about their life ahead on voyages on board. This building, resembling the ship's accommodation area, serves as a simulator for fire prevention training certified by the highest classification societies. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Case in point, we at DMET emphasize on physical activities and sports in great manner. No wonder we are leading across all sporting disciplines.
Sports in DMET plays a very crucial role in a cadet's curriculum. Sports improves a cadet majorly in two aspects, on a personal level and secondly on a broader aspect, that is, a team playing ability. A cadet here can choose from various sports including cricket, football, hockey, volleyball, etc. The sports here is especially unique because of the bond that a junior and a senior shares. The bond that continues to exist and prosper even after a cadet passes out from this institute.
We also have a 24/7 dispensary ensuring the well-being of the cadets residing in the hostels. With over thousands of alumni as industry leaders and eminent bureaucrats, the DMET has produced a plethora of cadets guiding the lives of nations and beyond. After 72 years of its inception, the dream has been realized, but the fire burns as bright as ever. So, what is DMET?
It's a professional disciplined branch of engineering.
Once a DMET, always a DMET.
There is something in it for everyone. DMET teaches us to fearlessly embark on new journeys that are better than the ultimate goal.
Moving forward, we have come to the most awaited part of the event today, the address by our chief guest, Admiral Karambir Singh sir, a phenomenal name in the naval realm. We are highly honored and privileged to have him with us in this special session of DMT Samvad. An extraordinary alumnus of the National Defence Academy, the Admiral was commissioned into Indian Navy in July 1980. He took charge as a 24th Chief of Naval Staff and later on assumed chairmanship of the National Maritime Foundation, New Delhi. Spanning over 4 decades of service under the elite white ensign, he has commanded the Indian Coast Guard ship Chand Bibi and guided the missile corvette INS Vijay Durg and 2 of the Indian Navy's frontline guided missile destroyers, namely INS Rana and INS Delhi. He has been the Flag Officer Commanding-in-Chief, Eastern Naval Command, with his headquarters at the port city of Visakhapatnam. He assumed command of the Indian Navy on 31st May 2019, serving until his retirement from the active service on 30th November 2021. Dear Karambir Singh sir, I would kindly request you to please unmute yourself and deliver the keynote address. The floor is yours, sir.
Can you just give me a thumbs up? I can't hear you when you want me to speak. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So if you all can hear me, that I'll start my speech. Professor
Yes, sir.
Arun
Yes, sir.
Kishore, distinguished panelists, guests, and most importantly, the faculty, staff, alumni, and cadets of DMET. Good morning to all of you. I hope you can hear me loud and clear.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
I'm indeed grateful to the IMU, especially the conveners of this online session, for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts on a subject that, as a former practitioner in the field of maritime security, lies close to my heart. You may be inclined to think that people in the Indian Navy have a somewhat different perspective on maritime affairs than merchant mariners who sail the oceans in pursuit of our great nation's economic progress. Now, that may be partially true, but I think I can think of at least 3 common strands that unify the perspectives of the merchant marine mariners who sail under the red ensign and the naval personnel who sail under the white ensign. The first is the awe and veneration with which all mariners regard the seas. For the seas can be benevolent as well as unforgiving. By its very nature, sea evokes mystery, thrill, and respect. The second common strand, of course, is the extremely important realization that the economic prosperity, security, and indeed the very destiny of our country is deeply connected with the sea. And the third, that the landlubbers, as we call them, meaning people who work on land, have little understanding or appreciation of what we do at sea. So the topic that I intend to address this morning is why India needs a population well-trained and aware on maritime issues. This is a very relevant topic because to my mind, the maritime sector has been largely underappreciated. Just an example, India's merchant marine carries less than 7.5% of the overseas cargo, thus pointing to the urgent need for investment in this critical sector. Take another statistic. The average turnaround time for ships at our major ports is 2.5 days. This is a marked improvement from 4 days in 2014-15, but still way behind the global average of less than a day. So decidedly, India's maritime sector has scope for improvement, and training of our civilian population is an important facet of the investment that we must make in human resources. By doing this, we will be creating a future-ready workforce that could drive the growth in shipping and marine sectors. And while it's important to train the target population in various disciplines related to the merchant marine, my contention is that it's equally important, if not more, to make the larger population of the country aware of matters maritime. This is because a populace, which includes the average citizen, the policy makers, as well as policy shapers, the populace that is more aware of the influence of maritime affairs on its own well-being and security, would be better positioned to shape public opinion and policy in order to promote a robust maritime sector. And this is the task that the National Maritime Foundation, which I presently head, is strenuously engaged in. So this morning, I intend to elaborate on 4 key issues. First, I intend to dwell upon the importance of maritime awareness among the people of India. I'll delve a bit into our rich maritime heritage, which Abhishek and Ritvik have already covered, to demonstrate how knowledge and pride in our maritime history should inspire us to push for overall growth of the maritime sector in the country. The second issue that I wish to bring out is the importance of maritime trade and how it has shaped the evolution of human civilization and the destiny of all nations. Flag, as the maxim goes, followed trade and brought with it a flood of exchange of culture, ideology, and religion. And it is unsurprising that this splendid exchange took place primarily through the medium of the sea. We see evidence of this exchange in the global landscape that has evolved over millennia. Brazil, for example, is the largest producer of coffee, and it is difficult to believe today that this plant originated in Yemen. Similarly, Native American plants like potato and corn have changed the diet of Europe. So to this day, trade continues to shape our lives, and maritime trade has a huge role to play in this. I'll endeavor to draw linkages between maritime trade and our country's economic growth. Thirdly, I'll focus on India's marine sector, including related infrastructure and industry aspects. I'll also highlight some shortfalls in our capacity and capability and offer some suggestions on how these could be addressed. And my fourth and final point is how maritime trade is underwritten by maritime security and the role that Indian Navy and other maritime agencies play in securing our maritime interests. So to begin with, the importance of maritime awareness amongst our people. Why should our people have awareness about maritime issues? This question can be answered by asking another question. Why do the seas matter to India? And the answer to this is pretty clear. India is a maritime nation. We have a vast coastline of more than 7,500 kilometers. Actually, by the latest calculation, it is actually more than 14,000 kilometers. And about 1,200 islands on our eastern and western seaboards. We have an exclusive economic zone, about 2 million square kilometers, which is about 2/3 the size of our land area. And we have a continental shelf of 1.2 million square kilometers. So all added, actually, our sea area is equal to our land area. And all the resources within these areas are ours for the taking. 95% of our trade by volume is transported by the sea route. More than half of the domestic production of crude oil is from offshore basins. And 67% of our proven oil reserves lie offshore in our EEZ. We are also the third largest producer of fish in the world, sector which employs 1.5 crore people. Increasingly, the sea is gaining importance as an important source of critical metals such as cobalt, nickel, copper, and manganese. And it is estimated that 380 million tons of polymetallic nodules lie in our seabed of our EEZ. These nodules contain all these critical metals that are linked to our country's future prosperity. Offshore energy is another area where our sea dependence is going to increase. According to MNRE, or Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, the offshore wind energy potential of the country is 120. The government of the day is building a maritime museum in Lothal, something that is truly laudable and which the Navy is fully supporting. The Rigved has reference to sea voyages and 100-oared ships. The Atharvaved describes ships that were spacious and comfortable. The word navigation itself is derived from the Sanskrit words now and gati. Chandragupta Maurya's war office had an admiralty board called Nav Parishad, and expeditions of Chola kings was already mentioned. So Indian shipbuilding too has an enviable history and a rich tradition. You know, the exhausted armies of Alexander the Great, they returned from the mouths of the Indus to the Persian Gulf on 800 Indian-built ships. The oldest warship still afloat in Europe is HMS Trincomalee, made by Wadias, a ship that was built in India in 1817. So was the HMS Minden, on board which Francis Scott Key composed the American national anthem, Star Spangled Banner, in 1812. So Dr. Panikkar has written that the first naval and oceanic tradition evolved in the lands washed by the Arabian Sea. The Atlantic had scarcely begun to be explored when a seafarer's manual in the 1st century AD, the Periplus of the Erythraean Sea, described with extraordinary precision the world of the Indian Ocean. And what drove this vibrant maritime activity in the Indian Ocean, and especially in the Indian waters, was without doubt trade. You know, a former US Admiral, Navy Admiral, he noted that the most salient characteristic of the Indian Ocean, unlike the Atlantic and the Pacific, is that it has primarily been a zone of trade. This statement is borne out by the history of trade that flourished in the Indian Ocean region, and in good measure because of the enterprising Indian traders and seafarers. I mean, India's spice trade, we are all aware, got enormous wealth and earned us India the sobriquet of Sone ki Chidiya. In sum, when we look at our past, we see our maritime orientation derived from our vast maritime heritage. This is what shaped our maritime character. So India had a distinct maritime character in the past, which is a key driver of our maritime trade, and which, among other factors, propelled her to preeminent position. So this maritime character was built by maritime enterprise amongst Indians, and this maritime enterprise came from maritime awareness, realization, and acknowledgement of the role that the oceans played in the well-being and prosperity of the people. Which leads me to my second point, the importance of maritime trade, though I've spoken a lot about it. As I said earlier, India's maritime trade is anchored, the maritime character is anchored in maritime trade. I've already touched upon how 95% of our trade is carried over the oceans.
That the subsidy for shipbuilding, which was present till 2006 and 7, has still not been restored back. And that is why our cost of shipbuilding, which Gaurav Agarwal would vouch, is much, much more than China than other countries. China has a very big subsidy given to the shipbuilding. So there are various ways of doing it. How do we enhance the awareness? A small campaign was started last year by AMON Board and Seed Maritime, where they prepared presentation and gave lectures to students of various colleges from class 7th to 10th. And as to this is the maritime domain, this is what it can offer. These are the various diversified fields, and this is what it is. We need to really work on them. A big synergy is required between, I feel, between the Indian Navy and the DMET also. Like Admiral sir is aware, DMET has been tasked by the Prime Minister to become Center of Excellence in Marine Engineering by end 2024. And INS Shivaji is already a Center of Excellence. So perhaps we can join hands and an MOU can be signed of mutual cooperation between the Shivaji and DMET, which I'm sure with the Admiral sir blessing is very much a possibility which can happen. So that you can share, we can do maritime research into that and reach there. Coming to maritime training. Now, this is one area where we need to really focus. We have, as in DMET, we have already revised our syllabus to give top class training. But the practical experience on board ships, I'm sure we would get an opportunity for even the DMET people to go and visit Indian warships and see what sort of technological advancements the warships have gone through in the latest. And really, they are really state of the art. So I believe it is high time to come. The problems are known, the opportunities are known. As Admiral sir mentioned that we have got a vast coastline. We all knew 7,500. He further elaborated, take the islands, it will become 14,000. But time has come to act now. To take one field, joint collaboration, work on that field till we achieve the desired results. Even if we have to pursue the government to help us out in certain fashions, they are very cooperative. I have been convener to this Maritime India, one of the trust areas, and the government is very, very cooperative. Rather, they have very clearly said, come to us with any ideas. There is no shortage of funds in any area which we did. So they have been very, very cooperative, Ministry of Shipping. So it's high time that we should start working on the various trust areas and try to achieve tangible results. This will increase the maritime domain awareness also. And DMET has, all these young cadets have got a very, very big role to play into that. Because as far as India is concerned and the world shipping is concerned, DMET today also is a brand name, known with respect. So they have got a large responsibility of going out, showcasing them as a brand ambassador, taking the forward, educating people, and we all are there with them. And I would request Admiral's blessing also for the Indian Navy also. As he rightly said, there is hardly any difference, the red flag and the white flag. So the need of the hour is the coordination and the collaboration. This is what I would like to say today. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable words. Sri Sundar Dikshit sir, DMET class 1977, who is founder and chairman of the Jaipur Dialogues and has served the government of Rajasthan in various capacities like Principal Secretary of Health and Family Welfare Department, Agriculture and Cooperation Department, Personal and General Administration Department, and Secretary of Rajasthan Cricket Association. We would like him to add in the panel. Please unmute yourself, sir.
I think I'm already unmuted. So thank you very much. And Admiral Karambir, sir, Director Mr. Easter, Mr. Ashok Bal, and all the people here from the DMET Samvad. I've had the occasion to interact with you all a couple of times earlier. The topic today is enhancing maritime awareness among the civilian population in India. So I think the key word is civilian population. And unfortunately, the civilian population.
Our chief guest, Honorable Karambir Singh sir, to kindly make a comment on the speeches which were given by our panelists. So if you want to give any comment about the speeches.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I know I've taken up a lot of time because of glitches. A couple of points. One is, of course, the synergy between the Navy and the DMET. And, I was going through the history and there was a entry that Admiral Carlyle, one of the first chiefs of naval staff, was one of the visitors to DMET. And definitely that is a very important issue. Regarding Commodore Bal's issue on shipbuilding, I went to Australia recently, and what they've done is that they have all the shipyards have, first of all, made a common job taxonomy. That means the skills are now listed under common taxonomies and shared the details of their workforce amongst each other. So it's being treated like a national shipbuilding initiative. This is something that we could think of. And some views on improving shipbuilding. One is, of course, the National Shipbuilding Plan, which we must, wherein we promulgate one. Second is, of course, let us start designing at least standard hulls for coastal shipping, which are relatively simple. And thereafter, then go into a little more complicated ships like the LNG carriers, etc. Of course, we must have a sunset clause on cabotage. Ship repair, presently the GST is about 18%, should be cut down to 5%. That is how we become truly competitive. And of course, Australia has also tied up with the universities for certain courses in shipbuilding and ship construction. As far as Mr. Dixit's romance of the seas, absolutely well taken and very well put forth by you. A lot of effort from when I was the chief. We have started many more naval NCCs. So that is the youth which comes up, a large number of college students. The Sea Cadet Corps are involved. We've got Sea Cadet Corps. I'm also wearing this tie, which is I'm the president of the Yachting Association of India. So we're trying to introduce yachting, sailing in grassroots level so that their love for the seas goes up. So these are some of the many issues that we have taken. I completely agree with you about articles and publicity. And as far as policy makers and policy shapers is concerned, the NMF is actually putting full emphasis on this. We are doing deep researched papers which indicate what is the importance of the seas, trade, etc., shipbuilding, how to get the maritime, connect with this nation. Seminars, basically evangelism to make sure that the sea blindness is reduced. In fact, the Prime Minister told me when I was chief that you must take the state cabinets, cabinet ministers. The whole aim was to take the ministers out, explain to them the heritage of their state, maritime heritage of the state, the kind of potential that trade has, the kind of potential that the maritime sector has for them. So these are the things that we've done. I thought this would be some kind of value addition to what we have discussed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable comments. So now I would like to request Honorable Director, IMU Kolkata campus to kindly unmute and speak a few words.
Thank you, Harsh. Thank you, Admiral Sahab, Karambir Singh Sahab, Commodore Ashok Bal Sahab, Commander Gaurav Agrawal Sahab, Sanjay Dixit Sahab, for your very, very valuable time. So we have learned a lot of things actually from the expertise of yours in respective fields. We are ready to actually generate a lot of papers, articles, as Sanjay Dixit sir has rightly pointed out. we are ready to reach out into the masses. We have too many cadets, like about 1,000 odd plus students. So we have plenty hands, minds, which can actually translate our actions, reach out to all corners of the India. And also we want to generate actually an attraction among the young generations that maritime itself has several facets, several interests can be pursued, and we want to generate a kind of attraction like the rocket technology, which I was trying to say. We have to coin a word which will be a phrase, which can take forward our thoughts into the masses at a common, grassroots level. For that, we need several initiatives. What I was looking at, actually, one of the topic is technological challenges. Second is the climate emission and environmental aspects. Third is the commercial aspect. Fourth, we have policy and decision making, IMO. These are all equally powerful. There is nothing which is more than the other. The policy wise, we have to somehow get our footing there in the IMO, which is currently very, very poor because we are being trusted with too many ideas rather than letting our industry survive. So that is one aspect we should get strong foothold. Second thing is the technology. So we have a lot of products, and these mariners who sail on ships, they get access to the latest machinery and technology. We can reverse engineer, possibly leapfrog on those things. We can develop technologies which Indian industry can take forward and materialize. For that, we are looking forward to generous support from Indian Navy because they are having a lot of space, and I believe which can be condemned, and the condemned parts, if they can be donated to us, we will try to reverse it. So in a lot of ways, we will be able to develop synergies between our respective areas. And I think we can combinedly put a very, very good initiative reaching out to the masses. And we require your generous support, sir. And you have been a great inspiration for us and support to us, giving so much of valuable time for the platform. And thank you very much for making this event success, even though with minor glitches. And thanks for the DMET Samvad team.
I don't know if the Admiral would consider, but a visit to Kolkata campus of the IMU would be a good experience, sir.
Certainly, thank you.
So yeah, that's a great thing, sir. We will definitely extend the invitation. We are honored to have Admiral Sub here. Sure to you.
Yes, sir. Before we will be proceeding to the end of the session, I would request Commander Ranendra sir from National Maritime Foundation to kindly speak a few words regarding the topic.
Mr. Sanjay Dikshit, Commodore Ashok Bhal, Commander Gaurav Agarwal, Director IMU, Professor Arun Ishwara, and the organizers of the event. I have been mostly in a listening watch on this platform, and what I found that, and I was also concurrently following the YouTube broadcast of this event. And I think that whatever we started off, or this event wanted to do, has more or less succeeded in sending this message of why maritime orientation is very important for India across the general civilian population. I think when I was logged on to the YouTube, there were quite many subscribers, and very actively they were participating in the chat box also. That is all I have to say, sir. And it was a very good experience and very knowledgeable experience for me also to listen to such a wide variety of experts on this field. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Before moving on to the conclusion of the session, we would like to address some questions from the stream and the comments that we have gathered through social media. So may I now request Sachin Saurabh sir, the in charge for this event, to take on some questions from the stream.
Good morning, sir. My question is, as DMET incorporates military standard training, this institute's cadet should be awarded extra credit by the Service Selection Board, similar to those of Army Engineering College, Rashtriya Military Schools, and Sainik Schools. Sir, what is your opinion? And if you support this, how it could be implemented?
Is this a question to me?
Yes, sir. This is a question to you, sir.
Yeah, I've noted this point. I mean, this is the first time that I have come across this request. So I'll take this up and see if how the modalities can be worked out. Definitely, a person who's gone through the entire syllabus dealing with marine engineering, it definitely is a great value addition, and will start off from a platform which is at a much higher level than any other engineering graduate. So I will definitely take this up. Thank you for this input.
Thank you, sir.
I would like to request Harjana to put the next question.
Sir, my question is from Admiral, sir. Sir, today social media platforms and news channels are saturated with arguments, discussions, and biased viewpoints regarding the matters pertaining to the warfare. So how we can narrow this rift and provide greater clarity to civilians? Many of those perceptions may be far distant from the reality on the ground, which only a person from a defense background like you knows. So how we can train the budding marine engineers or the budding civilians who are about the actual meaning of the modernized warfare, which is called the third generation warfare. Yes.
You know, whilst there may be a lot of arguments, discussions in the social media, we have a very, very focused program to educate our defense reporters. We have a lot of sessions with them. We take them to sea. We show them the actual way the navies operate. What is the maritime tradition of this country? What is the importance of maritime awareness? How is the maritime awareness and trade connected with the economy and prosperity of the country? All this is a lot of time and energy goes in educating the defense correspondents, and we expect them then to use their good offices in established newspapers and media to promulgate, to pass it on to various people, the civil population. So that is the thing that we do. Secondly, we do deep research on certain activities. There's a lot of difference between just a lot of noise and opinions and something which emanates from deep research. So the NMF is involved in doing deep research on issues like climate change, how it is affecting us, what are the ramifications of certain important things, and then putting it into the social media, into our NMF website, into to send to policy makers, policy shapers, to the press, so that the true picture comes out to the Indian populace at large. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, moving forward, we now take the question from our resource partner, Reflection Magazine. So over to you, sir.
Thank you so much, Ritbik. Greetings of the day, Karambir, sir. Sir, my question to you is, maritime sector in India has been a traditional source or a traditional method of transport, but in the recent times, even when the history changed through maritime sector hasn't been able to reach its true potential in independent India. You listed us a lot of reasons for it. Sir, I want to know what should be the prime focus of the current governments and the subsequent governments in order to bring India to that level of maritime power that it once was.
Thank you so much. I think the government has addressed, if you look at the Maritime India Vision 2030, and they're on to Vision 2047, which is being formulated. It covers pretty much everything. As Commodore Bhal said, there are about 150 avenues under which, initiatives that have been taken to make sure that, because you cannot say that only one thing will bring up maritime awareness or bring up the maritime potential of the country. It's a combination. It's a huge field. There are nearly 22 stakeholders, and I'm talking of ministries which are involved in shipping, in maritime affairs. So this is the way to go. Have the vision. Thereafter, based on that vision, we have certain action plans which we shall work on. Only thing that I stressed on was that let us take this synergy of all stakeholders and make it a national level strategy. This is something that we haven't done, and I'm very happy to inform you that there's a new appointment which has been created called the National Maritime Security Coordinator. Of course, this is mainly to do with maritime security, but please understand that maritime security has very large ambit. It involves security of trade, security of energy security, trade security, all these issues. So with the National Maritime Security Coordinator coming in, I feel, and this, of course, this Maritime India Vision plus the Vision 2047 coming in, I feel that from the policy point of view, the Maritime India Vision will take care, and from implementation or getting the synergies between different stakeholders, at least as far as maritime security is concerned, the NMSC will take on. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. So before proceeding to the end of the session and vote of thanks, I request if any of the panel speakers have any questions or any remark to make regarding the whole session or regarding the address of Admiral, sir. So they can unmute and kindly make a remark. So Ashok Bal, sir, if you have any remark to make, or Sanjay Dikshit, sir.
No, only one request from to Admiral, sir, that around a year back, for training purposes, we got a BER gas turbine from MS Visakhapatnam through Navy. If there are more equipment for training purposes, if they can be given, there is a good government procedure to give it free of cost for training purposes. So if Admiral, sir, blessing is there and DMET can get certain equipment which are no longer required, instead of scrapping them, if they can be given to DMET for training purposes, it would be very helpful.
Yeah, I've noted this point because Professor Arun also had mentioned that. So we'll definitely take it up.
Sanjay Dikshit, sir, if you have any point to make.
No, I don't have anything to say.
Thank you so much. Sir Gaurav Agarwal, sir.
Just would like to add, now that you're asking, if you notice, India's maritime prowess came in very handy in the aftermath of the tsunami in December 2004, where not only did we carry out immediate relief operations all over Andaman Nicobar with our Navy, and of course the Army and the Air Force also, but we also sent relief supplies by sea to various other countries. So all this goes to show our maritime power and for the potential also. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Arun Kishore Ishwara, sir, the Director of Indian Maritime University, Kolkata, if you have any point to make.
Sir, now what I would like to ask Admiral Sir, that if they have any thrust areas at NMF, we are ready to focus all our energies, create articles, journals, anything. So we are open all the time, sir. You can reach us at any point of time. Definitely our students will display their talent, skills in bringing out your objectives very clearly. So we have a lot of support now for you.
Thank you, Professor. So kind of you to offer this support, and we'll definitely get back to you with our focus areas and where we can, work together to increase maritime awareness and amongst your own people, your own cadets, and of course the population at large. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So now I would like to request Vamik to kindly give a vote of thanks. And after the vote of thanks, we will be having a photograph. So I would request all the speakers to kindly switch on their video after the vote of thanks so that we can have a photograph. Vamik, all yours.
With this, we have reached the end of today's session. To present the vote of thanks for
Vamik, your voice is not audible. I think the voice is breaking. If you can check with your mic.
I think Professor Arun will have to put your mic.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
On an ending note, I would like to present the vote of thanks for today's alumni panel discussion on enhancing maritime awareness among the civilian population in India. I would like to express my profound gratitude for our panelists, Admiral Karambir Singh sir, Commodore Ashok Bal sir, Shri Sanjay Dikshit sir, Commander Gaurav Agarwal sir, and Shri Ishwara Arun Kishore sir for gracing this august gathering by sharing their experiences from life and their guidance. The insight and mental preparedness developed here today will help the civilians to know more about this industry. This would further empower and push the industry to achieve unparalleled heights and prosperity. The session met its purpose of instilling in every citizen of the country the conviction that taking the road less traveled leads to significant success too. And it is our job as mariners to look for ways to amplify its progression on a large scale so that our environment and the upcoming generations get to experience life in a much more flexible manner. The discussions of today have provided us with the insights on how useful it is and how it is a need of the hour to focus on polishing our skill set for enhanced employment in this sector as well. I would like to once again thank all the panel members for taking out time from their busy schedules and joining us here. Thank you, sirs. The constant support and guidance provided by our director, Ishwara Arun Kishore sir, was remarkable. He left no stone unturned when it was taking about DMET Samvad to Pinnacle. Thank you so much, sir. I would like to extend my gratitudes towards Commander Gaurav Agarwal sir, again, who is the backbone of DMET Samvad, and Sanjeev Mishra sir, President of Singapore Alumni Association, for his constant support and motivation. I would also like to put this on record that this session was sponsored by Singapore Alumni Association and the broadcasting courtesy was given to Jaipur Dialogues. We are thankful for the We are sure that these sessions will flourish even more with the able guidance of such industry experts. Farhan Akhtar sir from 2018 entry batch, Prashant Kumar Mishra sir, Senior Cadet Captain Maintenance, and Arpit Gupta, Admiral Singh, Shashank Shekhar Jha, Shivam Thakur from 2020 entry batch. We are also thankful to Reflection Maritime Magazine for being our resource partner. At last, I would like to thank the DMET Samvad team who constantly worked behind the scenes to make today's event happen, comprising of the pioneers of DMET Samvad, Harsh Sinha sir and Sachin Mahto sir from 2016 entry batch, the core committee comprising of Sachin Saurav sir from 2017 entry batch, Abhishek Shahi sir from 2018 entry batch, Vamik Asar and Ritvik Kumar from 2019 entry batch, Samarth Upadhyay, Alfred Trinity, Ishika Sinha, Syed Umar Khalid, and Saideep Datta from 2020 entry batch. These people have worked tirelessly to make this event a great success. Thank you, everyone. I would also like to thank the viewers who have joined our live stream. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and thanks to Jaipur Dialogues team, Sanjay Dikshit sir has been extremely supportive for carrying forward this feed, live on their channel. Thank him a lot for the support.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we are at the end of this session, but I would request all the members who are in this web session to kindly switch on their video so that we can have a photograph. And thank you so much, Admiral sir, for your patient listening and accepting our invitation.
Thank you very much. It's really an honor and privilege to be part of your discussion. Thank you.
So I think we are done with the photograph, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And now we are.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Admiral, sir.
Thank you, sirs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.